Alright, I felt like I would do one more. This is the kit I got from Amazon. It's made by Recoil, is what it says, but I looked at Recoil's website, and they don't actually have this kit on there. What this is a 0 gauge dual amplifier wiring kit. I feel like this will be popular for people. Most people aren't going to go with a 5-channel amp or 6-channel amp. They're going to probably run 2 amps and do this separately because it's expensive to do car audio. So we're going to go through this kit. I'm going to show you what you get and show you the quality of the wire and stuff. This is a CCA kit. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just basically trying to do my audio system as cheap and affordable but also as safely as possible. So we'll open the box and go through it. This is the RCK0D. Recoil RCK0D true 0 gauge with dual amps. So we'll go ahead and open this. I've already opened it, done a few things. Basically what I did here, I took my remote wire and my RCAs and I bundled them together, took Tessa tape and taped them together. Labeled my channels that I'll be using. Get that focused. Label my channels I'll be using on each side. You can see here on the other side I got my connector already on my remote wire. So when I hook up my LOC, I'll be ready to go on there. Speed things up a little bit. I think these are 17-foot cables. I think they said that the RCAs are OFC. I don't think that the speaker wire is. As you can see, it's basically copper. It looks like it might be, but I'm not too sure. It doesn't feel, I don't know. It is 12 gauge. All these wires in here are correct gauge. So if you're wondering if they are, they are. So I'm gonna put this to the side. This is the RCA cables. There's also another bundle in here that I'll use for my sub amp when I get it. Then I guess they cut off a foot of your 0 gauge power wire, and that's what they give you to hook to your battery terminal. So I took their cheap O-rings or their protectors off and put these heat shrink wraps on there. Then here's your fuse block you get. Right now I have 150 amp in there. I think it comes with a 200 amp, but my amps I'll probably only need 130, so I might downgrade the fuse. We'll see. It's that. And then here's your 30 feet of speaker wire. And the reason I know these are correct wire size is because those are, hold on, let me get this thing to focus. These are 12 gauge crimp terminals, ferrules for the wire. They fit perfectly. And then I heat shrink wrap those just to start it. Get about 30 feet. And then here's your ground wire for 0 gauge. And you can see there is some play in that insulation. That's the only thing you can hear. Hold on. You can kind of hear the wire moving in there and stuff, but the size of the wire itself is 0 gauge. The ferrules fit on perfectly with no play. But it definitely is CCA, as you can see. You get 3 foot of that, and you get these are the protectors I was talking about. They're not very good, so I heat shrunk it, I guess you would say, so I take those off and redo those. Then you got 4 feet of both size, or both color, ground and power wires, 4 gauge, which also is true 4 gauge. Same problem though, I don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear the wire moving around. I'll show you what I did with mine. And then you get your probably 16 feet since they cut a foot off. So 17 feet total of your power wire. And that is also 0 gauge. It might not be the prettiest, but for 130 amps, this will definitely do. There shouldn't be much voltage drop either. Then you get 2 of these distribution blocks. I'm going to use one for the ground, and then I have another fused block. 0 gauge is going to run back to the car where the battery, it comes off the battery and connects to the post. I'm going to basically run my ground to that point, not onto the battery, but next to it, since that is considered a solid grounding point. And then my ground wire will go to this distribution block to 1 amp under my seat, and then the other one will go back to the sub amp in the back when I get it. It'll be my future, basically. You get 2 of those. And they're decent. I mean, if it's actually recoil, it's okay, I guess. You can see you get some ferrules with that. And then some ferrules if you, I think these are 2 through 6 gauge. And then 0 gauge or 4 gauge in there you could use. And you get the bag with some zip ties, connectors, another 0 gauge connector, and another 4 gauge connector in there. Right there. Crimp connector. And then let me go get something real quick. So here's where the other distribution block is. This is my amp that I'm going to be putting underneath the seat of driver's seat of my 2019 Hyundai Accent. You can see what I did. I ordered some of these feet, the isolator pads. Took this board off Amazon also, and just basically screwed it into the bottom. They're not protruding more than like 1/8 of an inch. So, and there's also a gap so this thing can breathe, have some ventilation. But you can see what I did here after connecting the ferrules and then heat shrinking it. Put distribution, some protection on the wire, back to this, and then this is the fuse block I was talking about. Just mini A&Ls, and yeah, that should work. I think I'll have a 60 on this one, and then I'll have a 70 amp running to the sub amp in the back. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing on mine. This will go right under the front seat. I mean, you can see how small this thing is, and this is a 700 watt RMS amplifier. I'm using 4 ohm, so I'll get 100 watts RMS per speaker. But I know the dyno basically did say 125 watt RMS on 4-channel 4 ohm. If you're running 14.4 volts. I doubt I'll be getting 14.4, so I'll probably hit like 90 to 94 watts, something like that. But yeah, just wanted to show you what I'll do, or what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have an installation video. Have a bunch of stuff basically on the wiring of the 2019 Hyundai Accent, because nobody really shows anything. So I'm going to go through while I polarity test it and kind of give you guys a reference. Maybe I'll make a separate video. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So yeah, if you are going to do dual amplifiers, basically they give you enough 4 gauge wire that if you're running this to the back trunk for both amplifiers, or like the back area, or wherever you're running both your amplifiers, there should be enough for you 4 gauge wise to wire up both your amps and have everything you need to start. In my case, I'll have 1 amp right now, and then I'll just basically have to get another piece of 4 gauge to run my ground and power wires. But yeah, if you got your amps in one spot, this should be plenty to get you going. And then I'm going to upgrade my ground terminal and my battery with this. And then if I need to, I'll do a couple electrical upgrades with another kit. But yeah, I wanted to run you guys through this. I know this is probably a popular kit because of how much you get for $65, or no, 70 bucks. I mean, 70 bucks for all this is a pretty good deal. Hopefully everything is quality enough to work. The wire size should be safe enough. Just please do not put, 3,000 watts on this kit. and put 250 amps and actually trust the zero gauge wire for that, because you're going to probably end up turning that into a fuse and smoke some stuff in your car, and I don't want to see that happen to you. So yeah, just be cautious. I oversized my wire to make sure that, you know, I'm not going to be unsafe in my vehicle. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but that's what you get with this kit, the RCK0D dual amplifier wiring kit from Recoil off of Amazon, $70. And you guys saw how long my run was on my amp for 4 gauge, so it's not very long to start with. Longest run's going to be going back 4 gauge to my amplifier in the back, but this should be okay, I think, because I'm not going to overdrive my stuff. I'm not going to be clipping it, and yeah, stick around. You guys will see the installation video soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good day. Peace.